leveraging charitable events. So, Todd, we're going to talk a little bit about cause marketing and reaching out to our sphere of influence. And for those of you that aren't familiar with the term cause marketing, it's pretty much the implementation and the combining of your business with a charity. And at the end of the day, letting people in your sphere of influence, letting everybody in your community know that you are giving back to the community. So I thought these stats were pretty staggering. And this is why companies do focus on cause marketing. But 91% of consumers, and this is just not real estate, this is just consumers across the board, but 91% of consumers are likely to switch brands to ones that support a good cause. And 92% of consumers say they would buy a product with a social and or environmental benefit. So people, and especially coming out of COVID and everything that we went through, and we saw charities really take a huge hit as far as donations go and contributions go, and so forth. And people really have this drive and this inner drive to give back to the community. So thought I'd just throw a couple ideas. Number one, and this is obviously only if you golf, but I think golf tournaments are a great way to generate business. So I am always looking for golf tournaments out there where I can buy a foursome that are reasonably priced. I'm not gonna, a $10,000 foursome may not be up, my alley, but I mean, if you can get into a foursome for $400, $500, $600, well, now you have an opportunity to take three people from your sphere of influence, whether they're past, present clients, people that you're working on, people that send you referrals, whatever the course is, but buy a foursome and invite, from your sphere of influence. And really you get 4.5 to 5 hours undivided attention with three people that you get to talk about real estate. And everybody that I come across right now wants to talk real estate. They want to know what's going on in the market. They want to know did their homes go up and so forth. And very rarely, and my partner and I, we do a lot of golf with a lot of clients and things like that. And very rarely do we ever walk off the golf course without a deal in hand.
Yeah, years ago we talked about the fact that NBA Cares was one of the very first groups or entities to go live stream with a cause marketing perspective. And so if you think about it, all the major brands really proliferate. They go out of their way to not only give to the local communities, but to use that in their marketing as well. So it's not a left hand now not knowing what your right hand is doing. This is there's a time for that, right? To store up your eternal treasures. But the reality is, this is cause marketing is all about getting a benefit from the activities and the charitable and the, community service and things of this nature that you do. Golf, Mike, this has always been, you and Ryan do a super job with golf. Not only you're passionate about it.
Except our actual scores.
Well, the point is utilizing the events and, I'm eager to see what number 2 and number 3 is on this particular slide. So,
all right. Well, number 2 then is not everybody golfs, but there are a lot of other charitable events coming up and opportunities to buy tables. And, and for tables, sometimes tables, have 6 people, 8 people, 10 people. And, and it's just a great opportunity to, again, expand into your sphere of influence and buy a table at a charitable event, whether it's a luncheon, a dinner, or whatever the case is, and fill that table. Buy the table, fill it with people, because people like to see that you are caring and that you are giving back to the community. And they are going to have a much higher and a much better opinion of you. And then you can even just consider making a donation on their behalf. I got a table of 10. Okay, I'm going to donate 25 or $50 on the behalf of every single person, at my table. Because you don't want them to feel pressure that they have to sign up, that Correct. They have to give, or whatever the case is. So you can take that pressure off of them. But again, and it's just a great opportunity for you have an opportunity to speak with them, build relationship with them while they see you giving back to a greater good.
That's awesome. And I look at this and I say, working and magnifying this is watch Facebook with your clients and your sphere. So, again, if you have 1,000 people in your sphere of influence, it's going to be much more difficult. But the fact is that if you take a look at what your friends and family and clients are doing charitably, You may find that there's some people out there that have a similar charity desire that you do. So it drops down that barrier to conversation because now you have something in common. On the other hand, if you are promoting them. So in other words, maybe their cause, your client's cause, you now do a post and share what they're doing. And if you're able to get and help them have a greater return to their charity, then it's a win.
Well, and that leads to point number 3, utilize social media.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so there you go.
Okay, cool.
So, so as whether it's a golf tournament and or some sort of table event, there's all kinds of other different events, whether it's a walk, it's a bicycle ride, or there's a gazillion other things. And I'm always looking for those opportunities where I can involve people, but look for any and all types of events. And post pictures. Take advantage of that. Anytime that you're at an event, anytime that you're doing something with clients that has to do with charities, make sure that you post pictures of any events, just to let everybody else know because we spent so much time on social media of, hey, I just closed this house. I just got this house just listed this house, and I'm a miracle worker because I got it under contract in 24 hours. Okay, well, you should be getting it under contract within 24 hours. But and I think that a lot of our followers on social media get real estate fatigue just by seeing all of this stuff. So it's a great way to break up what we're posting, because people need to see that you're doing more than just real estate, that they do need to see that you are giving back to the community, and leverage social media anytime that you give, not to give, but you give or volunteer. I love all of those things that West USA Cares does throughout our offices. Whether and you have an opportunity to buy this, buy that, or collect donations, or whatever the case is, make sure you're taking a picture, and make sure you're donating on behalf of some of your clients. And donate on behalf of your sphere of influence.
Yeah, Brock O'Neill down in Chandler taught us that one years ago when he just started buying those hearts in February for, on behalf of his clients for West USA Cares Awareness Month. And again, though, this goes out. So if I were to look at or people were to look at your web page or your social media page, let's put it that way, what are they going to see,
Burgers.
Mike? To your point, well, on your site, they'll see some burgers at least a couple of times a month. But the fact is they're looking, and if they constantly see pictures of just you doing things, then your site's all about you. But if they see that you're focusing, on the person that you're with and that they're giving up their time, and you're not mentioning, you're self-effacing, you're not mentioning anything about yourself, you're going to get a lot more bandwidth out of that than you will if it's look at me, look at me, look at me.
All right. Now, I think Nick had a question for you, Todd.
Yeah. So just to go back to the earlier conversation that we were having regarding advising your clients on what to offer. Mm-hmm. So we had a question come in. What do you suggest agents should say so they're not compromising themselves when advising their buyers on what to offer for a home in this current market?
Great question. We are in the process of modifying our policy manual, so we're having a lot of conversations with our broker team right now. And just this past week, we brought up this topic, and so what they want everyone to do is they want everybody to use the market advisory form and be able to actually, if you give somebody a form and you're asking them to initial or sign it, there's going to be a period of time that you're going to now have carved out that you can talk just about that document and just about what's happening. And so what do we recommend that you say? Well, the purpose of what your job is as a realtor does not change whether we're in a booming market, a depressed market, a recession and inflation. It doesn't matter. Our job is the same. Our job is to share comparable value with a consumer of what's being sold in the marketplace today and in the last 6 months. That's your stereotypical CMA. And so again, you're now providing, and what closes, and if people lose a bid to a particular transaction, because it's not about you telling the client what to pay, it's about the client deciding what they want to pay, just like earnest money. We never tell them how much earnest money. The client's the one who decides how much they want to potentially lose if they breach the contract. So to that particular point, what the brokers are saying at this particular moment is to take the market advisory out, share a market advisory with them, then have a conversation with them about comparable value, the inventory, people get it. I mean, if you're telling them that there's limited inventory and there's multiple offers, they themselves are going to come up with strategies that they're willing to lose or win by. It's not about us telling them what to, everything in this market is selling for 30,000 over. Well, the consumer doesn't know what you just said. If you show them CMAs and the price that's in the CMAs is $30,000 over, you're doing nothing wrong. You're doing the same thing you do no matter what market we're in, but the consumer's learning they got to pay $30,000 more. So we just want to stick to what real estate activity we have and what our responsibilities are.
All right, great. Yeah, I feel like we got a webinar coming up on this topic. All right, a few announcements.